Hello and welcome back to Satisfactory with me, your host, Parallax. You'll notice a couple of differences since the last time that I was pretty much right there in that same spot. Number one, I went ahead and collected everything I needed for the nuclear power milestone, and I ran out and checked the plastic at the new plant, and we're getting 100% plastic manufacturing out there at the new plant. We're not getting 100% of anything else, not 100% heavy oil residue or 100% fuel, but the plastic is coming out as fast as it can, so I'm happy there. I just realized that look at that, everything that we did to make steel or to make screws was pointless because we generate so many more screws just from those three factories over there make more screws than everything we did on the Mark 1 factories, like everything we did at the very beginning of the game. No, that's not true because some of those screws are being used for something else. Anyway, but I ran out there and checked, and the plastic is flowing well. I also sat down and looked at what we needed to make batteries for the drone. And here's the crazy thing: the batteries are used for nothing except to power the drone. So we would be setting up a fairly large manufacturing process because it requires a 4 input just to make batteries for the drone. So as much as I would love to see the drones flying around, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick with the train because we already have the stations set up. So we're going to be importing those plates. We're going to be importing those via the train. So we'll have that to go set up. But before we do that, we did have a research project that we were doing. So that research is now complete. We have the geothermal plants are now opened. And the last research we have to do is this programmable splitter. While we're waiting for the programmable splitter, or while we're waiting for 50 supercomputers to be made, I'm going to go ahead and research a new recipe from a hard drive. Yes, I picked up another hard drive when I went out there to investigate that plastic plant. I also went off the beaten path. I was like, I'm going to come home a different way. So I went out there and I investigated it. And when I came home, I went through this area here and I came back around this bend, right? So I forced myself to go out there and look at new things. And I found another firm wire manufacturing place. In fact, I found two. There were two right next to each other. So if we need more firm wire in the future, quick wire, not firm wire, quick wire, if we need more of those ingots in the future, and I can see right now that that production has stopped. If you look over there closely, you'll see that we're not even moving. It's not even moving down the. You see that? Like we're not even using it right now. So I'm not real. It's not a big deal for me, right? Yeah. It's not a big deal. But if we ever need more of it, there's two of them over there. A lot of stuff here isn't moving. Circuit boards. It's the circuit boards. Just not producing enough circuit boards. It's a plastic problem. I mean, it's not 100% a plastic problem, but it kind of is a plastic problem. This one, 100%, nice. 50%, and then nowhere near. Yeah, 27. So we're going to go out there and we're going to hook up that plastic, that new refinery, and we're going to send more plastic this way. And that more plastic is going to get those two to operate at 100% for the circuit boards. And then we're going to have plastic up there for the supercomputers. I hate that we're not going to have the drones. I thought that'd be really cool to see the drones work, but it's just not in the cards. Okay, before I go out there though, let's just do this. Do I need... Yes, I'm going to need the fuel generators. Yes, I will need the refineries. So I'm going to need steel pipe and rubber and plate. I have no plate. Wow, I'm out of iron plate. I'm at 0 on iron plate. So let's go over there and grab that stuff that we need to make this work. Zip. Zip. And oh. So sorry, I was running off. I don't know where I was going. I'm trying to get iron plate. Plate is all the way back here. Sometimes I just zone out. 1, 2, I'll take 3 iron plate. And then what else did I need? The pipe. Here's the pipe. Yep. 1, 2, 3, why not? And I really need, and I know you don't want to hear it, but I really need to get down to the, why do I have so many motors? Look how many motors I have. Oh, I need to go push the big red button too. I had that done and ready to go, like right as we introed. Horrible. I actually wanted that to be like one of the first things I did. And now I can't get rid of these motors because I have no place for them. Well, shucks. If I need to, I can delete them out of my inventory. Let's go push the big red button. And then, I think we're good. I don't think we're going to need that rubber. I think that rubber, and if we are, we're going to be at the place where all the rubber is made, so we'll be fine. Let's go push that big red button. Oh, look at that. Making a video, so someone's going to send me a text message, and boom!
Milestone reached. Uranium scanning unlocked. With the provided buildings and parts, you can now set up nuclear power generation, which balances an increase of fuel production complexity with improved power output. A new project part enables progress to the next phase.
That's what we wanted to. We wanted,
This method of power generation creates nuclear waste.
Okay, nuclear waste, from what I understand, doesn't have a sink. Recipe. We are looking for something called like a fused frame. Uranium fuel rod. Okay. So it doesn't need one of those big ones. Maybe it can be made over here, one of the medium-sized ones. The fused frame. Okay. I'm kind of happy to see that because we have satyrs by the boatload. So those electromagnetic control rods, like I'm happy to see those. But we are supposed to get a new... We're supposed to get a new part. Interesting. Maybe I missed it. There's a new part that we're supposed to get to unlock another milestone. And it was something, it was like one of these frames. Oh, it's in the blender. It's in the blender. I've not yet built one of these, but it's in the blender. Yep. Yes, it certainly is. It is in the blender. Oh, no. Yep. Heavy frames, which we produce up here. The alloy cases, which we do not produce up here. And then ammonia. Okay. Okay, first things first. Let's go get this plastic situated. Good to know. Good to know. The blender. Good to know. Oh, right. I don't know what's faster, running this way or flying. I think the end is in sight, though. I think we, if I'm not mistaken, when I looked at that four input assembler, I think I saw the that second from the left, whatever that thing is called. I think I saw it there, the recipe for it. That train. I wonder how many cars the train can carry. I wonder if it just charges you more electricity. We're gonna have to build a bigger train station probably. There's a part of me that wants to start working backwards. There's a part of me that wants to get all the milestones undone, because that's how I originally said. Like when we first started, I was like, I'm going to do all the milestones first. Like that's the most important thing. Get the milestones out of the way. And now that we're in the end game, that we're toward the very end, I really want to get the milestone stuff done first, because I want to work backwards. I want to start like I want to build the machines that are going to build the last of these four things, right? So I want to have like 4 assemblers or 4 blenders or whatever it is that are making these last 4 bits for phase 4. And I want those to be outputted directly into the space elevator. And then from there, I want to keep going backwards and bringing in the material that I need. Instead of trying to build up to it, I want to work backwards and like seal it off. But I can't really do that just on account of I can't complete the milestone stuff without first making some of these preliminary parts. Okay, but let's go ahead and do this. Let's get the plastic out of the way first. Let me go ahead and equip that. Fly for just a little bit here. Here's a telephone pole. Okay. And then research is complete. Perfect. All right. Now, do I want it to go out that way? I think I do, because I think, yeah, I can hook it into the plastic over there, so I think it'll be easier to go out that way. That. That. Oh. Tell you, I was watching a YouTuber, and I used to watch him all the time. He was one of my favorite YouTubers. And one night, I don't know what was wrong. I don't know if he was sick. I don't know if he was just in a really bad mood, or maybe the jokes just weren't that funny. But he got really bent out of shape, and I didn't really appreciate it. I mean, he didn't say anything like too bad or whatever, but like, I mean, he's kind of known to have a temper. I don't know, man. I think he was playing this game, right? He was playing this game, and I guess he was on a server. He was playing Rust. And if you don't know anything about Rust, Rust is a really difficult game to play by yourself, and a lot of places have. Was it yelling at me because I couldn't do it, or because I don't have anything encased? Well, here we go. I'm almost out of conveyor belt. I'm almost out of conveyor belt. I need to go down to that other base and just grab a whole bunch of it. But yeah, he was playing this game Rust, and you can't play it by yourself because it's like Cryofall. You have to get a bunch of stuff together to do things, and there's no escaping Rust. Like, you're always going to be there forever. Like, that's just kind of how the game goes. So it's not like in Cryofall, where there's like a way to get off, and people will like rob from you because they want to get off the planet too. Rust, you're just there. You know, you're in the bad situation, and you can't get out of it no matter what you do. So he was playing this game, and he was playing on a server that you could only play on that server if you were playing by yourself. And I think it was a server that he set up so that he could play by himself and that he could enforce that rule. And as it goes, there were some people who were working together. I don't know if they were like friends in real life or if they just happened to become friends on that game, but they were working together to gank people, to like go around and steal from them and this, that, and the other. And the YouTuber I was watching was a victim of that, right? Like he was one of the persons who got ganked one time. So he, was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch this, man. Like I'm gonna go show these kids, like teach these kids a lesson." And he did for like a little while. He taught them a lesson. Like he got in their business and he was killing them and he was kind of griefing them. And then they figured out who he was, so they started watching the stream. So they knew where he was at. They knew what he was doing. They knew what he was carrying. They knew where he was going and like how he was gonna try to ambush them and stuff. So every time he ran into them, he was losing the fights, and it was maybe it was apparent at first, or maybe it wasn't apparent at first that these guys were watching his stream. So he lost like a couple of straight up fights, maybe just because of bad luck or whatnot. But after a while, like it was apparent because they were in the chat, when they would say things like, "Oh, you gotta be quicker," they were, like I knew they were going to be down. Like it was just kind of a weird. Like they would say things that. Anyway, long story short, he got pretty mad because they said something about like him being old and like him being like playing a kid's game and stuff, and that stuff is, like it's weird to say, like it's somebody who immediately jumps to that. Like it's just. Especially when you're just trying to make videos and you're trying to get content and you're just trying to enjoy your day, like enjoy playing. Like it's really weird when someone jumps to something like that's super sensitive about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then they made the comment about him not having any kids, about him being an older gentleman and him playing video games, and maybe he should have kids so that it would be more appropriate for him to play video games because he'd have kids, and the kids would be playing video games. I cannot believe I have to run all the way back and grab more. Over here on the right hand side, it didn't yell at me for I guess it did at the very top. I just didn't scroll back up and see it. But anywho, there goes the train too. I got to run all the way back like a chump. But anyway, I felt bad for him. Like I felt really bad, and I was like, yeah, because I'm an older guy and I'm playing video games, and it is kind of weird. If there's a guy who lives next to me back, in my home, and he, he's always outside doing things. His yard looks great. He's always trying to, he has a second, like a side hustle. Like he does, I'll say that he cuts grass. He doesn't cut grass, but let's just say he cuts grass. And his wife, he drives around with the telephone number on the side of his truck, and the wife, she answers the phone and schedules everything, and he tells her when he has time to do it, and she just tells him, like, "Oh, this person lives here, so you got to go here first, and then do this one second, so you're not driving around all day." And he makes a lot of money. So if he knew that I played video games and had a YouTube channel, he'd be like, "Wow, that guy's weird." You know what I'm saying? So those guys like jumping to that and like making fun of him. Number one, how they know he was that old, unless, they were watching the stream and he had a video camera so they could see, and two, them immediately jumping to that, they're I guess you could call them trolls, but at the same time, it was malicious. So is there a word for someone who like really wants to screw somebody else over? And, that's his livelihood too, right? Like if I got really big on YouTube and I was making money off of it and I quit my day job and this is all I did all day long was build really horrible factories that no one liked, and someone tried to come after me like with like kind of make these side or snide remarks and like kind of insinuate things like that would get under my skin quick, because like I said, this is where I make money. This is how I provide for my family. Or it would be if I were a bigger YouTuber, but it's not. But anywho, I just kind of felt bad for him. But like one day he got really, really, really bent out of shape about a lot of things. and he started taking out on the people who were watching the stream. And he wasn't taking it out on them like easy. He wasn't like ha ha ha, like it was one of those. Yeah, I gotta get rid of that because it's just all these things go to nowhere. You know, it's like when you're like a little kid and you're like fighting with your brother or something, you know, and he throws that crayon a little bit too hard, you know, or you know, he does like a flip and it hits your ear just right where like it really stings your ear. So these, I don't know, like he started saying things to people and one thing led to another, and I stopped following him, you know. I stopped following. I put in there on the deal. I was like, you're better than this, and I left. But I think about him every now and then. I kind of hope that he's doing better. I really kind of hate that those people who spoke to him the way they did. I kind of hate that they I think they contributed to him to him having like that bad episode, because it wasn't exactly like one day later, you know. I mean, it was about a week later. But I know how something can get into your head and can mess with you. Oh wow, look, there's so many more over here. How many do I have? 148? Look at all these steel encased beams. Where are they going? Oh, they're making do they make heavy? I think they do. I think they are being used to make heavy frames. And we took like 1 million heavy frames out of the thing downstairs. So these things are just trying to build back up there. Yeah, we definitely can just here. So we got to come over here and raid these things in the future. And the pipe? We are having a hard time getting pipe up here. My goodness. Everywhere you look in this base, we're having issues. Everywhere you look, we're having shortages. This is a little maddening. And if I would just use less buildings, I think it would be better. Like if I didn't build 4 of the manufacturers, you know, if I only built 2, I think they would be working at higher efficiencies and we'd have more of a backup of product, and that would be better. I would rather see like product laying around than not having enough product at all. I don't know why, but in my mind, if I look over there and I see a bunch of rubber, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like I'm happy to see all that rubber backed up. I think it's because I feel if I ever need it, it's there. But if I see that we're just barely making ends meet, then I'll dislike it because I don't feel like we'll be having it laying around if I need it. Like if I needed to build something and it required 240 steel pipe, I'd have to go hunt it down or wait for it to be manufactured. But anyway, yeah. I used to watch a guy named Quill18, and he actually did talk to me one day, and it did make me mad, so I stopped watching him. He was always a little, I don't know if the word, I would say arrogant. I would say arrogant. He always kind of had this air about him where, like, when he talks to you, he kind of thinks you're an idiot. And there was one day that he was debuting a City Skylines DLC. I don't know if it was, I don't know if it was one of the, and see, there's the problem, because when I was talking in the chat, he made the comment, he said, oh, this is a free DLC. And I said, like, free DLC from City Skylines? Like, usually their DLC costs money. In fact, if you go and look at City Skylines, it's a really expensive game if you buy all the DLC for it. So for them to offer something for free, I was just kind of like, that's odd. Like, I wouldn't think that company would do that. I thought that company's business model was more, was more along the lines of, great game, solid game, DLC to kind of get your flavor. So if you wanted to do airports, they have an airport DLC. If you wanted to do ships, they have a ships DLC. But they wouldn't put the ship and the airport DLC together. Like they wouldn't call it like mega transport, and charge like $10. They would charge you $10 for each. Like that's their business model. That's how they want to make money. So So I was asking about that in chat, and I said free DLC, and he was like, yeah, DLC that is free. And I was like, oh, okay, like that. I don't know, just the way he said it, it just kind of, like I said, he was a little arrogant. Like anytime you he spoke to you, he always kind of thought that you were the idiot and that he was having to he's having to explain things to someone who was dumb. All right, so that's 80. Excuse me, that's 80. This takes up 60. So we're going to have the same problem that we had in the other place, where we're going to manufacture 80 residual, but we're only be we can only we're going to be able to process 120 residual fuel, but we're only going to be producing 80. So there will be we will have some left over, but that's not that bad because down here we can. Oops, not that. Excuse me. Logistics down here. We can grab one of these. We're right there. Put the other one right here. And this is going to come out and do, where do you go? That's weird. This right here is going to make is going to output the fuel. And you're going to be outputting 40 fuel, but you're not going to be outputting, like one of you will be outputting 40, and the other one is only going to get 20. So it's not even going to get half. It's going to get, let's say, a third. So like 11. So it's going to be like 55. So let's say 55. And each one of these, I think, takes 18 or 12. Let's see. Oh, you have to have it hooked up first. I think they take 12. So that's 12. That's 24. Ooh, falling out of the sky. Go over here to this. Yeah, thank you. 18, 24, 36. That's not really 36. And then we'll do one more. That's 48. So that's not going to use all the fuel. We'll have a little bit of fuel left over. And that's not the worst. Not the worst thing in the world to have a little... Oh, it is the worst thing in the world to have a little bit of fuel left over, because if we ever get backed up on this, then we're gonna... It's gonna stop the production of the plastic. So we definitely need to do something where we're utilizing all of the fuel. We kind of do that. Have it... Ooh, you know what? No, because it goes up. I was gonna say I could have it I could have that pipe, the fuel pipe, come down this way, and I thought that would look cool, but this conveyor belt goes up. So that's not gonna work. And then that was, I think that was 48, right? 12, 24, 36, 48, and that's 60, and that'll be it. That'll be it. Yoink. Again, I'm going to it's not the animals that I fear in this game. It's the fall damage. Here. Oh. Yeah, so that one's going to have to go underneath. Or it could go... Yeah, we'll make it go underneath. It'll go like, just like that. I like to keep it up. Did I not line that up? Oh, come on, how hard is this to line things up? Such a pain. There we go. The autosave, yep, thank you. Can you go underneath there without having any problems? You surely can. Put that right there and have that turn. Right, just like that. Perfect. Now we need to put the junctions on. You did not come out. You did. That thing came out just a little bit ahead of where it was supposed to be. That's the output. Boom. Logistics and I watched episode 4 of The Boys today, and I tell you, great episode. That TV show does a really good job of conveying just how scared people are. Certain character. I'm not going to tell you who. I'm not going to tell you who. You know who it is, but I don't want to ruin it for anybody else if they're just getting into it. That TV show does a very good job. I mean, and that's the whole premise, right? Like, imagine a superhero who doesn't care about humanity anymore. Like, imagine somebody who's given up on the whole idea of protecting the weak, because, and this was something that I guess it's making its rounds on Facebook. Is that James Cameron was saying something to the effect, like I don't know, someone was saying, why did you pick a police officer for the T-1000? Like, why is he the... Yeah, that's not gonna... That's too close. That's too close. Is that going to be the same problem back here for all of these? Yep. Yeah. All right. It's just too close. The pipeline's too close. Yoink. Okay, how do you do the multi left control to dismantle? Perfect. Okay, wasted all that time. Let's try again. Okay. That should be far enough away. But someone was saying and now look, this is not corroborated by an interview with Mr. Cameron or anything like that. This was just something that I saw on the internet, and it probably is not even true. But people were asking or saying something like, why did you pick a police officer for the T-100? Was it just because he would have access to like emergency response stuff and that's why you did it and it just makes the most sense, or was there symbolism behind it? Apparently, and like I said, this is not corroborated anywhere, but apparently the idea was that he said he picked the police officer because the story of Skynet and the Terminator wasn't that robots destroyed us, it was that like we kind of destroyed ourselves because we let our own concept of humanity slowly slip away. Like we didn't know what it meant anymore to be a human. We kind of functioned more like cogs in a machine. That police officers kind of embodied that because they sometimes don't view people that they protect with benevolence. They see them as being weak. And he's like, he's like, how do you feel about having to, like, how would you feel if you had to serve people who were weak, like all the time, and they always relied on you for your strength, you know, to like see them through adversity. You know, I don't know if that was real or if that was just something that, like I said, that somebody came up with and put it on the internet. I do like that about like some movies, how they'll put some kind of symbolism in there about like what it means to be a superhero, what it means to be something. I always thought the Batman movies, I thought that would be a great place to talk about what it means to be a hero, because Batman doesn't have super abilities and all that jazz. I thought that would be a really interesting conversation to have, but none of the Batman movies do it. All he ever does is just beat up people. You know, even the Nolan ones, the Christopher Nolan ones, all he ever did was beat up people. Okie dokie. Now, what is the problem here? Do we just never ever hook this system up to power? Holy moly, look at all this. Yeah, I just don't think we ever hooked this system up to power. So that one over there has power, which means that now he has power. And he's connected to that one, so all those should have power. Those should be on like a standby. There we go. That one's green. Those should have been on standby. Those shouldn't have been on red. Those should have been on yellow. Pumping out pure. Pumping out pure oil, I hope. Some of these should start turning to green. That one's turning green. That one's turning green. You can see the smoke coming out of the vent there too. That one's turning green. That one's staying green, right? And that's the most important thing, is that it stays green. Oh, that one is turned back to yellow. That there's green, and now that one's green. Oh, the plastic. Plastic. We never did the merging. Always something. Okay, merge. 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 I don't think the first four that I did, I don't think they're going to count, because I wasn't pointing at the conveyor belt when I clicked on them. I was clicking on the side of the conveyor belt, so I don't think they're going to work. You see that? Like that one right there, not going to work. Not going to work. That one's not going to work because it's on the side, and that one's not going to work because it's on the side, and that one's not going to work because it's on the side. So let's go back over here and do merge. And sorry, I ramble on about movies and YouTubers and stuff. Sometimes when I watch these videos, I say to myself, like, man, you don't talk. Like some of the YouTubers that have insanely high views and they have tons of subscribers, like they never stop talking. There's a guy named Splattercat, and I watched him for a little bit, and then I just got to the point where I was like, it's too much, man. Like you talk way too much, way too fast all the time. You never ever stop. Like I had to stop watching his channel. But he has a lot of subscribers. He has a lot of followers. So I try to find something to talk about, something I think you would find interesting. It's all the backlog out. Yeah, that's what I get. Let's just look up here first. Okay, green, 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 green. All right, we have green across the board except for these last two. Now, what's your deal? You're just taking the time for you to get some crude oil, right? That's what's happened. Just taking your time to get some crude oil. And that's just because a lot of these up here are still drinking their fill, right? Yeah, so that gets 50. That gets 50. 50. We just have to build up pressure in the line. Just got to build up pressure in the line, and you'll be doing great. Anyway, all right, so that looks good to me. Let's just make sure everybody, too, is getting rid of their plastic. Just sit here and wait till we see some plastic come out. Looks great. Plastic come out. Looks great. I saw that one come out. That one looks good. I saw that one come out. That one just came out. So those two are good. That one just came out. That one just came out. Perfect. And this one has no plastic built up, so it's fine. There we go. There we go. Then, ooh. Oh, no, 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 no. 9. There. into there. And from there into there. There we go. There's heavy residual. My goodness. That has to get turned into fuel. And then we should see these things start turning on. Oh, they're red. Red, red, red. Come on, make some fuel. Come on, make some fuel. There we go, there's green. There it is, generating some electricity for us. And then you down there, can you turn on too? Perfect. Get some electricity. Lovely. What about you? Great. And then you should also be able to make electricity. It'll take you a second. It'll take you a second. There it goes. And then you over there on the back, you're tertiary. It would be great to see you turn on, but if you don't, I completely understand. I don't think there's enough fuel in the line for you anyway. Yeah. Oh, no, there was enough. Oh, good. There we go. We'll come back out here and we'll check on all this and make sure it's good to go. Ooh, I see backup. Look at that. Look at that. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. We're going to need to go down to that other base and we're going to need to get tons and tons and tons of aluminum, the aluminum sheet, because we're going to be upgrading that to Mark 5, the fastest conveyor belt there is. So I think we'll hitch a ride on the train, we'll go down there and grab it, we'll come back up, we'll fix that problem, and then I think that'll be it for this video. I've made a lot of videos this week. It's Friday for me, so this is kind of the end of the week. Am I out of bullets again? Wow. I'll just start walking down there, and if I happen to catch the train coming back this way, then I'll just keep walking. And if I catch it going with me, that'd be great too. I'd love that. You know, it's been a while since we walked down there on foot. I think the train's coming up behind me though. Maybe it's in front of me. Kind of spooky, right? Walking on the railroad tracks at night. Speaking of spooky, the Quarry, such a good video series. You guys have to watch either Christopher Odd, he does pretty good, or Omewrecker. Actually, I should watch both because I stopped watching Christopher's, but there are so many different things you can do in that game. Interesting. Interesting. I should watch Christopher's and Omewreckers. We probably could watch that game. We probably could. It's not the type of game that we watch on this genre though, or we play on this genre. I don't know if you guys would like it. And it's $60 dues. I kind of have a deal where I don't want to spend more than $20 on a game that I'm going to show on the channel, which is a lie, because as soon as I get done with this video, I'm going to make a surprise video. It's a game I bought for $47, and I tried many times to record a video on it, but my computer kept like just turning off. It was too much pull on the CPU, GPU, the power supply I had. But I did move the game from the C drive over to the D drive, and I have a suspicion that it'll work now. Number one, because it's been out for about a year and a half, so there's been a lot of optimization. Or I hope there's been a lot of optimization. It's just unlucky for us that we didn't get the train going our way, that we have to walk the entire way. But I hope there's been optimization. And two, because I moved it from the C drive to the D drive, I think the C drive will be able to generate virtual memory if too much memory is being used. Uh-oh, don't crash. Nice. If too much memory is being used. I'm going to get done with this video, and then I'm going to go and play that game. Try to make a recording. I'll take a break for lunch first. Tomorrow we're going to go hiking. And, really, I've been hiking a lot on the East Coast, the Southeast. But I'm on vacation in Northern California. And the hiking out here, it's a little bit more scary. Like, you definitely can get, like, I'm not going to say you can, quote, quote, get lost easy. But I think the idea is there's not a lot of civilization around in some of these places. So I don't think you can get lost easy. I just think if you are lost, it's going to be much more difficult for you to find help. Whereas in North Georgia, yes, you can get lost, but all you have to do in North Georgia, if you get lost, just convince yourself that you're trying to enjoy a nice day away from people, and I guarantee you someone's going to show up with a barking dog. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Georgia is full of people who grew up a certain way, or their parents like they know how to live because their parents lived a certain way, and then they just emulate that type of life. So if mom and dad had a dog growing up, they're going to have a dog. Their dog is going to bark all the time because they really don't want to have a dog, but they're going to have it. You know what I mean? They don't want it. They don't want to take care of it, but they're going to have it. All right, these things over here. We are not doing that anymore. So can I just take from you? I can. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Can I get rid of something here that I just don't think is going to work? I'll do that. Put that in there too. Now you become storage. Okay. There we go. Now let's get back. I'm interested to see how many copper plates we're shipping. I really kind of hope that the choo-choo train. I hope the choo-choo train comes back soon because I don't want to have to walk up there. But I don't want it to come back too soon. I do want to do some investigation. Knowing my luck, though, it's going to pull into the shop right as I get there, which wouldn't be that bad. I mean, we get back up to where we need to go. Right. That's the copper sheet. Okay, about 200. That's not bad. This is 79 per minute, but that's not bad. All right, here comes that train. We don't have to wait long. Never seen the world looking so right. Wow, 1,642 belt pieces. Lovely. And we're also going to go back up to the main base, and we're going to look and see what schematic we got. So we're going to go upgrade that line all the way back to the main base, and then when we get back to that main base, we're going to go and check what our schematic we got is and turn on a new schematic. Because I saw those hard drives there, and I was like, oh, we haven't gone and seen what new schematic we're going to get. Come on, choo-choo train. I would really enjoy a monorail system in this game where you build it and then it doesn't go like this. It doesn't transport. Because this is great for transporting freight. I want a monorail system that I can just ride on myself. And it still hasn't used all the backlog of computers. It would be great to play this game with a friend. So that, like, could you just imagine all the work I have done on my own? Could you imagine someone down here expanding this base and like, oh, man, it would be fun to play this on a server. I had the money. If I had the money, we would set up a server. We would play this game on it. and then we would only let it like we would have like an Excel sheet, so we get everybody's like, oh, I'm off on Thursday, I can play Thursday, so the server would only be live when everybody could play. That way, no one kind of feels like left behind. It'd be only for us old folks. All right, now remember we had to jump off the train here, or we could ride the train all the way up, check, and then work ourselves backwards. Let's do that. That way we can go check what schematic we got and start the other schematic going. 50 minutes. Oh, I didn't want to do another hour long. Well, I'll tell you the truth, I didn't want to do an hour and 30. That was my big thing. Don't do an hour and 30. Just do like 40 minutes, but we'll do an hour long one, that's fine. It's Friday. Is it almost 1 o'clock? No. Almost 12 o'clock, right? Almost 1. Oh my goodness. Ugh. I have to start uploading these videos by 2 o'clock because it takes from 2 to midnight is how long it takes to upload 3 videos. And I do 3 videos a day, so I have to edit them, then I have to start uploading them. Not that I cut too much out. I mean, you pretty much see everything. Every now and then I'll have to go back and mute myself if I say something dumb, or cut out something if it takes too long. Let's step off right here. There's a boom tube right around the corner we'll take. We have our flying thing? Yeah, we do. Ton of plastic being delivered now. Ooh, I wonder if it's not even a question of if we're even using all that plastic. Okay, it is. We are using all that plastic. It is. I was looking at the other conveyor belt. The one that goes, no. There we go. Oh. Apex Legends. Alright, what are we going to get here? Let's see. We can use rubber. I mean, we get 1 per minute. This gives us 1.8 per minute. It uses... I don't really know about that. This is cheap. So this is another alternative recipe for silica. What is that? What is the blue? What's blue? A byproduct of oil refinement into fuel commonly used to manufacture plastics. Polymer fiber produced at a refinery. You use water and polymer resin to make fabric. The standard recipe, at least this gives us a recipe to make an industrial fabric. This one over here uses the standard recipe is 36, 28 cable, and 5 plate to make 2 of those. This one would use an AI limiter, rubber, and just 10. I would still have to do that. I would have a thing to use rubber with. And then I'd have to use those. Do I want to have a way to make fabric industrially? I just don't see fabric being part of the end game here. And the silica already have another alternative recipe for silica. I don't feel like any of this is good. Produced in assembler. So this would just be quartz and limestone, and it would just make 7. The standard recipe is that and that, but the byproduct is something that we need. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. Um, we just spent so much time getting cable production up. I don't. Let's just go ahead and get the fiber. I don't think I'm going to need it, but I don't think I'm going to need the other ones either. Anyway, there we go. Researching another one. Now let's go investigate and let's see if we need. I'm sure we will. I'm sure we're going to need to. We're going to need to upgrade that line, but there's a part of me that thinks we don't. Shortcuts: X, N, M, O, and Tab. V. What the hell does V do? Oh yeah, I know what V does. N do. Quick search. Okay. Interesting. Okay. B is flashlight, Q is build, X. You can change colors as you're building, I suppose. Huh? F, N, V, then O. Oh. Recipes, tutorial, inbox. Okay. Whatever. Here. So yeah, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Where are we slow at? Upgrade all this then. Maybe it was slower back toward the beginning. Don't know. Let me put on my blades for this work though. Right. 5. This is as fast as she gets. Look at that. There's something on the deal up there. I guess because I have so much stuff in my pockets. Can't hold everything. What can I say goodbye to? Those for right now. So what is it that I picked up? Steel encased beams. Yep. Not a bad thing to pick up. And I have an industrial way to get fabric now, which I don't think I had a way to get fabric before. I think I had to like find it organically. But now I can do that polymer resin. Which is nice. I think the filters take fabric. Like you need fabric to make your filters in your hazmat suit, so it's not bad. But why was this thing not... Is it backing up? Yeah, see that? Is it that thing where it has a... Yep, had a Mark III belt there the entire time, hidden inside that deal. Whatever. So we weren't even though we had upgraded the entire line, we still weren't getting the benefits because that one little piece was hidden in there that we just didn't see. We have so much plastic that's just backed up here. We have plastic backed up in that direction. Well, not backed up in that direction. Definitely backed up in this direction, though. I need to be able to fly. Please, come on. I just need to clear that backlog. If that backlog is cleared, I'm happy. All of them working. Okay, that one's no longer pumping out. Now there's that one. Now there's that one. Now there's that one. Of course, it doesn't make sense if we don't upgrade that one. Come on, we just have like 2 here in the very back that need to be emptied. You just take it. And that one's empty. Perfect. Okay. Figure all that out, please. Perfect. Perfect. All right, looking good. Looking great. Great. And great. Now there we go. Now let's go over here and make sure none of this is going to back up, which I don't think it is, because I think it's moving so quick now. Perfect. There we go. There we go. So for a little bit, there's going to be this huge influx of plastic, but now all the plastic is being utilized. Great. Great, 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 great. Look how slow that goes over there. My goodness. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Are we not sustaining? We're not. Oh no. Oh no. We might have to rip up. We might have to turn some of this stuff over instead of making fuel, but to make this stuff. The heavy oil residue, right? The heavy oil residue. Would it have been? No, because heavy oil residue, we don't have any left over of heavy oil residue, right? Yes, yes, yes. We could get rid of this plant here, because that produces 80 residue. This only takes in 60, so there'd be 20 left over. Run the heavy oil residue pipe. So if that was gone, we could just run it straight this way and hook it into. Is that also heavy oil residue? Where? That's crude. That's got crude oil in it. That has heavy oil residue. Maybe we get rid of that and we plug it into this so that there's 20 more heavy oil residue in this pipe. And if there's 20 more heavy oil residue in this pipe, then maybe... Is this full? No, it is not. Does it fill up? Probably doesn't, because of course, if it did, it would be full by now. That uses 40 and it makes this stuff. You know what? Let's do that. The next time that we get together, I'm going to log off right here, but the next time that we get together, I am not going to make fuel with that guy. I'm going to make that coal substitute, and I'm going to send that coal over there to those power plants, because this right here, I mean, it makes 80, that makes 60, and this makes 60, so that's 120. And But if we just do 40, then we're not going to be as short as much as we are. We're still going to be short, but just not as much as we are. And if we hooked into that pipeline for the heavy oil residue, maybe we wouldn't be short at all. I think this system over here is pretty balanced. I remember kind of going through it and making sure that all that stuff was balanced. Now that's down to 25. It was at 41. Yeah, so I think that runs for a second and then it turns itself off. Then it runs for a second, it turns itself off. So maybe we just rip out that. Maybe we just rip out that power, that refinery, and we just put our heavy oil residue into this line. How full that is, though. It's not as full. It's pretty full. Maybe we should put a pump in. Put a pump in. How full is that line? Not full at all. Yeah. We hook that in and we put a pump in over here. And then we physically pump that. Let's do there. I feel like there was a pump over here at one point. And then we took it out. This stuff is not full. It really, that line really should come straight this way and hook in like right there. It shouldn't bend around like it does. It should hook in straight there, and then we should put a pump, I guess, like right after it. So all that stuff is just together. Like all that and all that meet together right here, and we just pump it straight down that way. Anyway, that's going to be for the next one. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you in the next episode. And do not let me forget that we have a recipe to go unlocked. I saw that happen just a second ago. So another recipe to go unlock. Our last hard drive to put into the system, I think. Yep, we have one hard drive left. So one more recipe to pick up and then another hard drive to put in. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I will see you in the next one.